Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue with the second lesson, Europe and India. Rise of capitalism. With the discovery of new sea routes began a new era of trade between Europe and Asia. Many traders came forward to trade with eastern countries through the sea route. It was not easy to carry out trade single-handedly, and hence many traders came together and started trade. Thus, there was rise of many trading companies. Trade with Oriental countries was very profitable and responsible for economic prosperity. Hence, European rulers started giving military protection and trade concessions to these trading companies. This led to accumulation of wealth in Europe. This property was used in the form of capital for trade and commerce, which led to rise of capitalist economic system in Europe. As a result, business across Europe grew and flourished. The increase in economic activity in Europe led to an overall increase in many nations, money supply. This in turn brought inflation or the steady rise in the prices of goods. Our next topic is colonialism. Colonialism means one country exploiting another country by making it into a colony. A powerful country, on the basis of economic and military strength, occupies another region and establishes its political supremacy. This is known as colonialism. Colonialism, in easy language, control by one nation over an area and people outside its own territory. A nation that controls another nation is called a colonizer. A nation that is controlled by another nation is called a colony. Let's talk about now imperialism. What is it? Imperialism is when one government tries to control the government and economy of another country. Imperialism means a system in which a powerful country controls other countries by establishing its overall domination and establishing many colonies. Many countries from Asian and African continent fell prey to this imperialist aspiration of the European nations. We can see in this map. There was competition among European countries for acquiring trade monopoly in India. The British established British East India Company in 1600 AD to carry out trade in India. This company took permission from Emperor Jahangir and established its factory in Surat. The trade between India and England was carried out through this company. From 1750 to 1850, the British East India Company ruled most of India with little interference from Britain. To protect their trade and territories, British officials hired Indian soldiers called sepoys. The East India Trading Company once had a private army of 2,60,000, double that of the British Army. It also once accounted for half of the world's trade. Our next topic is Struggle between English and French. England and France were rivals in the competition for trade in India. Due to this, there were three wars fought between them, which are known as Carnatic Wars. Let us read more about Carnatic Wars. In the 18th century, three wars were fought between the French and the British for control over the coastal strip of the present-day Tamil Nadu, known at that time as Carnatic. These wars came to be known as Carnatic Wars. The Carnatic region was under the possession of Nizam of Hyderabad. In the Third Carnatic War, England finally defeated France. Therefore, now there was no strong European competitor for British East India Company in India. Let's move on to foundation of rule of India Company in Bengal. The Bengal province was one of the most prosperous provinces in India. In 1756 AD, Sirajuddaulah became the Nawab of Bengal. East India Company officers misused the trade concessions obtained from Mughal Emperor in Bengal province. The English built fortification around the factory at Kolkata without the permission of the Nawab. Hence, Sirajuddaulah captured the factory at Kolkata. This created discontent in England. Major General Robert Clive, also known as Clive of India, was the first British governor of the Bengal Presidency. Mir Jafar, the commander-in-chief of the Nawab's army. Robert Clive diplomatically bribed Mir Jafar, the commander-in-chief of the Nawab's army, and also promised to make him the Nawab of Bengal. Nawab Sirajuddaulah and the British troops met at Plassey in 1757 AD. But under the leadership of Mir Jafar, the Nawab's army made no move to actually join the battle, and hence Sirajuddaulah was defeated. Afterwards, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal with the support of British, but later he started protesting against the British, and hence his son-in-law Mir Qasim was made the Nawab. Mir Qasim tried to put restrictions on the illegal trade of British, and hence once again Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. To restrict the activities of British in Bengal, Mir Qasim, Shujaudullah, the Nawab of Ayodhya, and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam formed an alliance and ran a campaign. In 1764 AD, Battle of Buxar was fought in Bihar. After this battle, British East India Company got the right to collect the revenue from Bengal province as per the Treaty of Allahabad. In this manner, the foundation of British rule in India was laid in Bengal. Let us move on to British-Mysore struggle. This is the picture of Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali from Mysore state rebelled and took control of Mysore. After the death of Hyder Ali, his son Tipu Sultan became the ruler of Mysore. You must have heard about Tipu Sultan many times before. He tried his best to fight against the British. At the end, Tipu Sultan died in the battle at Srirangapatna in 1799. In this manner, the British took control of the Mysore territory. This is a picture of Gumbaj. It is located in Karnataka. The Gumbaj houses the remains of Tipu Sultan, his father Hyder Ali, and his mother Fatima Begum among beautifully manicured gardens. British control over Sindh. To strengthen the British power in India, the English turned their attention towards northwest frontier. They feared that Russia might attack India through Afghanistan, and hence the English started establishing their influence over Afghanistan. The route towards Afghanistan went through Sindh. The British understood the importance of Sindh and hence captured it in 1843. Now let us talk about fall of Sikh power. In the beginning of 19th century, the power in Punjab was in the hands of Ranjit Singh. After the death of Ranjit Singh, his minor son Dalip Singh came to the throne. On his behalf, his mother Queen Jindal looked after the state affairs, but could not keep control over the officers. Taking advantage of this situation, the British bribed some of the Sikh Sardar. The Sikh community thought that the British will attack Punjab, and hence they launched an attack on the British. In this first Anglo-Sikh war, the Sikhs were defeated, but still Dalip Singh remained on the throne. But the growing impact of British over Punjab was not acceptable to the Sikhs. Mulraj, officer of Multan, revolted against the English. Thousands of Sikh soldiers participated in the war against the British. In the Second War, the Sikhs had to face defeat again. In 1849, the British finally captured the entire region of Punjab. Here we have completed the lesson, children. Now let us discuss the exercise. The first question: rewrite the statements by choosing the appropriate options. First one: in 1453, the city of Dash was conquered by Ottoman Turks. Tell me the answer. Constantinople. Yes, correct. Question number 2. The Industrial Revolution began in England. 3. Dash tried to put restrictions on the illegal trade of British. Answer is Mir Qasim. Question 2. Explain the following concepts. First is colonialism. It is on page number 7. You have to write the full paragraph for this question. Same for imperialism also. On page number 7, you have to write the full paragraph under it. Number 3 is Age of Renaissance. We have discussed this in the earlier video. I hope you have written this answer. Let's come to question number 3. Explain the following statements with reasons. First one, Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated in the Battle of Plassey. This answer is on page number 7 and 8. I have marked the answer here. You can take it down. You will begin the answer from East India Company till was defeated. Question 3.2 is, the European countries felt the necessity of finding new trade routes to Asia. Answer is on page number 5. Under the heading Geographical Discoveries, you have to take the full paragraph as the answer. Question 3.3. European rulers started giving military protection and trade concessions to the trading companies. The answer is on page number 7. Under the heading Rise of Capitalism. I have marked the answer for you. Please take it down. Answer all the questions point-wise. Question number 4, that is, complete the following table. This we have discussed in the earlier video. I hope you have finished writing this. So with this we have completed the lesson, children. Students, the first lesson, Sources of History, we'll do it later, as you have already done the same lesson in standard 6 and 7. Thank you everyone. Stay at home and stay safe.